Hey everyone, my name is Ian, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I've learned in online speech this last semester. As I know many people have a problem with public speaking, so do I. I get very nervous and tongue tied and freeze up, forget what I'm talking about, but you do get past that. You have no choice to, of course, but you do get past that. Just like that, and many other things I have learned in this class to help me get through public speaking. Some things like being well prepared for your speech, also outlining your speech properly, and then altering your speech for the target audience who you're trying to speak to. Now, being prepared is very important, and that almost is everything, basically. You want to do thorough research on your topic, unless you have personal experience, of course, but most of the time you'll have to do some research. That way your audience knows you know what you're talking about. That way they see this person has done their research. I should listen to that. It'll grab their attention for one. Also, speaking of the audience, you're going to want to thoroughly research your audience as well. That way you know who you're talking to. You may have to change your lingo and your jargon. You're going to want to know whether they're young or old or a certain ethnicity, something like that. There's many other factors as well, because if you don't speak in a way that they'll understand, it'll be pointless. Then you're also going to want to choose the best visual aid. We're talking about a visual aid that allows you to keep the focus on you, but still get your point across. That way they can see, which is very important. Seeing and hearing is very important to people, but you don't want to distract them from you as a speaker. So you want to find a good balance, a visual aid that balances their sight and your speaking, basically. You also want a good outline as well. You want an outline that allows you to practice speaking extemporaneously. You don't want an outline that is word for word, because then you sound scripted. You sound like a robot. You want something that is just a guideline that keeps you on track, basically, and that also just kind of gives you pointers. But also, most important, as I was speaking about before, was altering your speech for the audience. It's very important because your audience is everything. I mean, not only your research of your topic, but your audience is who's listening, and if they're not there, then what's the point? So you want to make sure that they can understand your point, whatever point you're trying to get across, especially if you're trying to persuade the audience. You want to make sure you know who they are, what their background is, or what they're interested in, things like that. That way you keep their attention, you know they understand you, and it'll actually be a successful speech. So being prepared, a good outline, and altering the speech based on the target audience are just a few of the many things that I learned this semester. I could talk for probably an hour about it, but I've only got a few minutes. So students should consider online speech, I believe. It's very important. You can learn a lot from speech in class. It's all the same things that you learn in this class online, but at least online, as the professor says, it's the future. Students will be ahead of the game because the businesses now do a lot of interviews online. They'll do conferences with peers or colleagues over the internet, conference calls and chats online. And I think if you take this class online, you will definitely be ahead of the game.